Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you happen to be. This is the Pro Tour edition of our countdown of the 10 best-selling cards. Usually you have to wait till Monday for the Pro Tour edition, but since Pro Tour Hour of Devastation is in Kyoto, Japan, we'll get a little double dip for this one. Kicking things off is Supreme Will. If the Pro Tour coverage is to be believed, Control's in a bad spot right now, but Supreme Will transcends that, and here's why. The combination of two classic cards, Impulse and Mana Leak, gives Supreme Will some serious staying power. Gate to the Afterlife features heavily in the God-Pharaoh's gift deck as a way to gain incremental life, filter through cards while setting up haymakers, and eventually sticking a God-Pharaoh's gift. It does it all. Alright, so what have we learned since the release of Amonkhet? We've learned that players love full art lands, and your margins on them might not be huge, but they are basically guaranteed to move. The Hour of Devastation full art basics are no exception. Bomat Courier features heavily in one version of the mono red deck obsessed with haste. There are a ton of hasty creatures available to red decks in standard right now, and Bomat Courier is unique among them because it allows for some card advantage in the late game. I gotta say, I wasn't a fan of Bomat Courier when every deck seemed to have Thraben Inspector in it, but now that that card has seemingly fallen off the map, I'm all about Bomat Courier, baby. Champion of Wits is great across the board, but its main function in Standard right now is to prime the pump for the God-Pharaoh's gift deck. Drawing 4 cards when it gets eternalized is not too shabby. Hour of Devastation added more to Standard than anyone thought it would, but it all began with Abrade. Abrade's been a player in Standard from the start and has a legitimate claim to being the format's best removal spell. It's going to continue to sell well for a long time. Earthshaker Kenra also continues a trend of steady sales. Mono Red Aggro is the story of Pro Tour Hour of Devastation so far, and Earthshaker Kenra is the perfect card for the deck. God-Pharaoh's gift is no slouch either, and is the namesake of a pretty sweet deck that's perfectly capable of stopping the Mono Red menace. Cataclysmic Gearhulk's recent sales boom makes it the latest beneficiary of the ascent of God-Pharaoh's gift. Gearhulks are usually a liability against a field full of Abrades, but between Cataclysmic Gearhulk, God-Pharaoh's gifts, and all the ways the deck has to get artifacts back into play from the graveyard, opposing Abrades simply gets stretched too thin to make a reasonable impact. But the #1 seller this week is Ramunap Ruins. Ramunap Ruins is yet another Hour of Devastation card that just makes mono red work, offering direct damage without even using up a spell slot. Utility lands don't have to be very good to be playable, but Ramunap Ruins is great. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm just gonna get back to watching the Pro Tour. I hope you enjoyed the recap of our top sellers. I'll be back Monday after the Pro Tour wraps up, and we'll find out if the top 8 results shake anything up. See you then.